Hello, hello, everybody. Happy Monday. Hope you guys are had a wonderful reviving weekend and you're ready for the new week. I did. I got to go rest out on the lake with a couple of my girlfriends this weekend. It was super nice. Just giving a few minutes for people to hop on. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do today is I am going to draw a Reiki card because I think that I will probably talk longer today because this is something that's fun and easy for me to talk about. Last week I wanted to give you guys the history of Reiki. um, that's something I don't have memorized. And so I wanted to read it verbatim out of my training manual. And so that was a little, there's even words in there I couldn't say. So I did my best. Today I don't need to read anything, I can just talk. So you know how that goes. If any of you know me already, I can talk forever. But I will try to respect our time. I'm trying to keep these between like a half an hour and 45 minutes, just because I know we're all busy. Let's see what they want us. Reiki cards think we should focus on this. So I love this deck. I got this after I did my master's Reiki class. It's Living Reiki. Reiki is a way of life. They have a few philosophies that we try to remember when we're practicing Reiki. Things like just for today, I will not feel anger, or just for today, I'm not even going to say anymore because I don't have them memorized either. But I like this deck because it incorporates those philosophies. And so then I like to draw one card every week and then just focus on that. Last week it was we are human beings, not human doings. So if you saw one of my reels, I posted a reel last night about that because I really focused on that last week. And being present's huge for your energy health. When you're thinking about the future or worrying about the past or worrying about the future, regretting the past, you're not living in the now. And in a lot of cultures, they don't even consider that living. They just consider that you're either in the future or the past and not paying attention to what's going on right now, right? All right, so let's see, where are we going to go here? I've got them flipped the wrong way. I got to flip them over. I feel like I'm cheating, but I can see the face of the cards. Even though I'm not. This is one of those things. I like it to be a surprise. Okay. Okay, so this card is the things you most enjoy. It's yellow, so that's working with your sacral chakra. If you've watched the chakra video, the sacral chakra is one of the lower chakras and it deals with safety and actually, I'm sorry, it's the solar plexus is yellow. So that deals with strength and safety, but it's moving more into the strength realm than the safety. The root and the sacral are more safety, and the solar plexus is where you're starting to get your inner strength. So this card says the things you most enjoy. Make a list of the 10 things that bring you the greatest happiness and start to incorporate at least one of them into your life every day. This could be spending more time out in the fresh air doing something creative, like painting or writing, listening to music, spending time with friends, baking, reading, or stargazing, or any number of other things you might enjoy. That's amazing. Try to work at least one of those kind of things into your day each day, and the quality of your mood will just skyrocket. Number one, you're taking time for yourself. Number two, you're having time that you're enjoying, which means you're taking your mind out of the future and out of the past and bringing it into the now. And then, sometimes we can get in those moods where it's like, all we do is work. What are we doing all this work for? We're just going to work till we die. Is that what life's all about? No, it's not. And so when we actually allow ourselves the time to do things we enjoy, then it helps make the work make sense. Hope that makes sense to you guys. So, okay, today's topic is that I'm going to walk you through what a Reiki session would be like with me. Sorry, I'm just checking here if I have any comments because I think they're going to pop up on here. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to start with the really basic Reiki session, okay? So if you watched my video last week, Reiki is an energy modality, energy medicine, I like to call it. And so my job is to be the channel for that energy. And so when you come in person, because there's a few different kinds of Reiki sessions we can do. When you come in and we do an in-person Reiki session, I have a massage table, and you'll just lay down on the massage table. We'll cover you up with a cozy blanket. You'll have a little pillow. You'll have a little roll under your knees, and you just get really comfy. And then your job is to just relax. Just breathe and relax. And so, I think I mentioned this in the other video. With Reiki, I don't have to touch you to do Reiki, okay? Some people don't mind, and then I will, because there's certain places I feel like shoulders, or it's different with every person, but sometimes I feel like it has a more of an effect on you if there's touch involved. And just on your perception of it, I should say, because it's all going to work the same. And it's going to work where you need it most, no matter where I'm at, because it's intuitive. It's healing, universal source energy. So you'll lay down and then I'll say, would you rather I don't touch your body? Obviously we don't touch in certain spots because that's inappropriate. But it'll be like your arms, your legs, your hips are big ones, shoulders, head. And some people have trauma, and so maybe they don't want you to touch their wrists or things like that. So you just have to communicate with me, because I will respect any of your boundaries that way. So there might be touch, there might not. It's all up to you. It doesn't have to be, and it'll work just as well. Okay, so you get all comfortable, and then I do a little meditation where I clear my body so that I'm a clear channel, and we have some Reiki symbols that I work with and call in. And I say a little blessing over your body. And then I'll do a body scan, which basically I'll start usually at your head, and I kind of have my hands out like this, and I'll just slowly walk down to your feet. And I can feel energetic patterns like right in my hands. So I can tell like if there's parts of your body that are having energy dis-ease. Sometimes it feels hot to my hands. Sometimes it's just like strong. So it's like say you're think about it like maybe even like wind maybe is an easy way to explain it, but it's energy. Like I'll be going across and all of a sudden it'll be like, ooh, there's a lot of energy there. Okay? Because I can sense it throughout your body. So then I will focus on those areas, like where I put my hand. There's different ways you can hand placements and positions and like call in different Reiki symbols. I'll focus in those areas. Now, our teacher, our Reiki master, she was really open to being intuitive when you're doing your Reiki and incorporating different practices in with it. So I like to call my style of Reiki intuitive Reiki. And so I've studied like Donna Eden and a few other people that work with, like, I do tapping, so I know a little bit about some meridians, and Donna Eden works a lot with meridians and energy pathways in the body. And she also talks a lot about energy flow, and her story is amazing. If you guys get a chance to look her up, she was basically like in her 2021 with, I think it was MS and I don't know what else, but she was basically on her deathbed and she decided she wasn't going. And so she started focusing and meditating and she could see her energy pathways and she could see where they were supposed to be flowing and where they weren't flowing, and she was able to get them to flow correctly and at the right pace, and she healed herself, and she has gone all over the country teaching her energy, the Eden method, I think it's called. So I incorporate her things I've learned from reading and studying her methods, and then I've got my teacher's methods. And then, I am intuitive myself, and I'm also a medium, so I will sometimes get messages from passed on loved ones or pets while we're doing Reiki. I just take everything I know and I put it all together. So I call it an intuitive Reiki session. And I'll ask you ahead of time if you're open to receiving messages, because I know a lot of people have really strong feelings on that, right? Some are uncomfortable, some are afraid, some don't believe in it. So I won't give you any messages if that's something you're not interested in. So don't worry about that, but it's there if you are interested. And so I'll work in all the areas and I will do like hand movements and things to get the energy flows back in order and going the right direction. Sometimes the energy flows are a little too slow, sometimes they're a little too fast. And like when we were talking about the chakras, your chakras can be too fast or too slow, right? There's going to be non-opportune things or feelings you're having if it's going too fast, and same as if it's going too slow. So you want to just kind of keep them moderated at the right pace. And then your tissues and muscles store emotions and energy, which is what is usually is the what's the word I'm looking for? Origin of your pain and dysfunction and dis-ease is usually when emotions they like hide or get trapped in your muscles or tissues or cells or DNA, and they don't get released, that and they are there for a long time. Then that's when you'll start to get pain, stiffness, discomfort, and then things will start, it'll just keep compounding, right? So I always warn people when we do a Reiki session that the whole point of this session is to get your energy flowing to all the areas of your body like it's supposed to. That might not all happen in one session because some of this stuff's been stored up and locked into your tissues and muscles for years, right? And sometimes it's too much for it to all come loose at once, right? Like we're not trying to break the dam. Some people like that, some people don't. I always like to incorporate grace and ease because I think that a lot of times if you break the dam, people get really uncomfortable and then they're less likely to come back, right? So if we do it a little bit at a time with grace and ease, they know they can handle it and then they're more likely to continue their healing process. So I tell people that we're moving energy, okay? Emotions are energy in motion. So there are times when your job is to sit there and relax and breathe, right? You could spontaneously start laughing. You could spontaneously start crying. You could start coughing, sneezing. Air is a life force, so it may leave your body in in a few different ways, if you know what I'm getting at. That's all normal. That means energy is moving, which means your emotions are releasing from where they've been stuck and they're exiting your body, which is healthy for you, okay? This doesn't always happen, but it does sometimes happen. And I think people get too wound up then and they're like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. And then they can't relax again for the rest of the Reiki session. And it's to your benefit to just let it go and then go back into just relaxing. And the more you can relax and accept whatever happens and that you know it's okay, the more we can move stuff. And so the relaxation is key for you, and breath will help with that. And I will pay attention to your breath because there's many times where I'll be in a certain area, working on it, um, kind of trying to get the energy loosened up because sometimes it's like it's so tight. It, you know what I mean? It doesn't want to move, kind of like a tight muscle, okay? And so I work on it and I work on loosening it up. Well, I'm always paying attention to your breath. So if you start breathing really shallow and short, I'm going to leave that area. I'm going to go somewhere else because then it's getting a little too intense for you and I don't want it to be uncomfortable for you, okay? So I'll go some to another area and then I'll probably come back to that area again. And so I'm always watching your breath because your breath tells me where you're at. If you're taking slow, deep breaths, I know you're relaxed and comfortable. And you can always talk to me during a Reiki session if anything feels uncomfortable or you're wondering if this is normal to feel. You can talk to me. It's not going to like throw me out of my it's not like I'm in a trance, right? I can talk to you and still do what I need to do. Um I don't like to talk a ton. But if you're into intuitive feedback, which is also your option, then there may be the back and forth a little more because I'll be like, okay, I'm in this area, I'm feeling sadness. There may be some sadness here that you need to work on releasing. And then, if you can identify the sadness I'm talking about, then we can work together where you can lean into that and we can work on letting it go while I'm doing the Reiki. And sometimes that helps a lot. And maybe I'll tell you, it's very common to find stress and under the stress, anger between the shoulder blades and the neck. So a lot of times I'll focus there. And if we can work together and have a little, you know, conversation about, okay, I'm feeling some stress here. And then, if you think about the stress you've had just even in the last week, and then we can work on moving that out and releasing that. And So it's kind of up to you what you're comfortable with. Some people are uncomfortable with silence, but some people come because they just want to relax and they just want to just zone out, right? And chill and just feel the energy moving through them. A lot of people will tell me they feel like they've had like the best night of sleep ever after a Reiki session. So the relaxation of it is super wonderful. It's a great benefit too. And so if you are more, and this can change every time, right? We can do it different every time. If you are feeling like you just need to focus on relaxing and let me do the energy work, no problem. If you're feeling like you want to have a little more interaction, we can do that. And then I've had such profound things. You'd be surprised, even with the mediumship, right? People are so they hold on to so much guilt and regret when people pass if like they weren't able to say what they needed to say or they weren't didn't make it in time to say goodbye. And that's one of the most common messages I get from the other side is that they know you wanted to be there and that it's okay. Or, you know, don't be sorry because where I'm at now, none of that matters. It's, and so there's different messages like that. I've had messages from pets come through where you find out later, the pet's like telling them it's okay. I lived a good life. Thank you. And here the owner had been worrying that they could have done more, right? So there's all sorts of things that can happen in one of Becky's intuitive Reiki sessions. I designed it that way because I've learned so many things from so many different classes and so many different teachers that it was too hard to put everything in a box. And so my mentor was like, you don't need to put it in a box. Put it all together and do whatever comes up, you know? Like, will I always get a message from beyond? No, not always. And but I have all these tools and intuitively they pop in and I know when to use them. So, that's what a Reiki session will look like if you come in person. If you do a distance Reiki session, which actually distance Reiki, they say, is more potent. Um, let me take a step back because I want you to know that you will also often feel, and this will be in a distance Reiki or an in-person Reiki, is you may feel heat, you may feel like tingly, like goosebumps, or you might feel like how it feels like when your legs going numb or whatever, coming back awake, kind of those tinglies. You might feel sometimes you can feel like almost like weight, like on like say on your leg or something, like somebody's putting pressure on your leg a little bit or things like that. So so with your distance Reiki, people are often surprised because they can't believe they're feeling things, right? And so when we do Reiki, we're channeling the source energy through us to help heal energy flows and patterns or heal's not the right word. Um Help me find the right word. Restore. Restore the energy pathways and the frequencies and the intensities of the energies. I forgot where I was going with this. Oh, yeah. So we're channeling and working on helping your energy get restored to the right patterns and intensities. And then intuitively, I'm also connected to your energy. So, for instance, it's very common that I'll clear, because I clear my system and my aura and my energy, right? Before we do these sessions. And same with the distance. So I'll release any feelings of pain like that I have in my body. So then when I'm connected with you as a distance Reiki session, I'll feel your pain in my body. And I've even felt like I'll usually eat something beforehand because I don't want to be distracted because I'm hungry. And I've had my stomach just go crazy growling like I'm hungry, and I know I'm not hungry. So then I'll be afterwards I'll be like, "Are you hungry?" And they're like, "Oh my God, yeah, my stomach was growling." I'm like, "Yeah, I know, because mine was too, and I know I'm not hungry." um Sometimes I can taste things, right? Like, so sometimes if I get like the taste of oranges in my mouth, then I know that maybe you need more vitamin C. It's crazy intuitive how all these things drop in. So that happens in person as well. And but it also happens in distance. There's no disadvantage to doing distance Reiki versus in-person Reiki. You have all the same benefits, if not even a stronger session having it being distance. So, what happens when we do a distance Reiki session? And water, people. Water, water, water. When we're working on our energy health, you need lots of water. Energy is conducted through water in our body. Water is a conductor, and energy is a frequency, very similar to, like, you might want to think of it like electricity, but it's a frequency like sound or light energy, right? But it still gets conducted through water. So if you're dehydrated, these sessions won't have as opportune effect on you as they would if you were hydrated properly. So whenever you're going to start working and doing things with your energy health, remember lots and lots of water. It helps the energy move the way it's supposed to, and it helps release things easier. So, with a distance Reiki session, what we'll do is I will call you about 5 minutes before your scheduled session. And what I ask you to do ahead of time is pick a time where you can be alone and undisturbed, and that you can relax. Like I usually say, on your couch or your bed, wherever you want to be, low light. You can have some like spa music playing in the background, nothing with words or anything like that, because we don't want you to be spiking into different memories and stuff. So just like instrumental music in the background, calm, soothing music. If you choose, you can wear earplugs if you just want to, say you have 3 kids running around above in the apartment above you. You might just want to do earplugs, or earbuds with music is really good. And you just relax. And then I'll say, okay, turn your phone off or whatever, or this gets tricky because you still want to leave your phone on so I can call you at the end, because a lot of people fall asleep. So I can't remember how we do that, but there's a way to do that. And then you just like do not disturb from apps or texts or whatever, and then we'll do the Reiki session, and I'm here and you're there, and I do the same thing. I clear my system and my energy, and I call in my Reiki symbols and my ancestors and guides. And then I sit and I take notes as I'm doing it. And I'm visualizing your body, and I'm feeling your pains, and I'm feeling your emotions in my body. And I'm working with all of that. And then after the session is over, if you want feedback, then I'll go through my notes with you and tell you what I found. And I've had profound results with this. And when I started, I was kind of, you get kind of like, like, I know it works because I do it on myself, but how are these people going to believe that it's working, right? Once you have a session, you believe, because there's been times I've found I've talked to people and I've been like, okay, I felt a lot of heat in this area. And they're like, really? Because I've been thinking I need to go get a mammogram, or you know what I mean? And I'll be like, yeah, I'm not getting the feeling that there's anything terrible yet, but I think a mammogram might be a good idea, right? Like, I'm not a doctor. I can't tell you what to do. But what I'm trying to tell you is these things really connect, and people are surprised how I can tune in to their body from, across the country. But that's how quantum physics works, and that's how energy medicine works. And and I've been doing it for a long time, just not like in the public eye, and more for self-healing than working with other people, right? But it's done wonders for me, and so I want to be able to help other people. And then this is what I really want to do for a living. And so I've been taking more classes, and I'm almost wrapped up with my intuitive tapping method certification, which is another great healing tool. We'll be talking about that later this month. And between the Reiki and the tapping, those two things have really changed my life. And so that's what I decided to incorporate into my business, Energies Inc. Those are my two main go-to tools, is going to be my tapping with the coaching or just by itself, and then my Reiki. And like I said, it's helped many people. I've had so many people with great feedback, and I think that there's still the feedback comments on either in the Energies group on Facebook or the page, and then I have a few on my website if you want to read those, that people have allowed me to use that I've worked with. And afterwards, you're going to want to drink a lot of water also, just like when you go to a massage, because this is like an energy massage, okay? And energy's running through your muscles, like I said, your muscles, your tissues, your cells, your DNA. So you're going to want to drink a lot of water afterwards. And then, like I said, a lot of people will say they felt warm, tingly. Some will have said they feel like they've slept for 8 hours. Another thing I like to pay attention to as well is sometimes you will have memories surface, right? And so you might have a memory surface, and it may cause you to feel anxiety for a minute, or it may cause you to cry and feel sad for a minute. Those are things your body was holding on to that now they're releasing and letting go. So it's not something you need to worry about afterwards or focus on, like, oh, why did that memory come up? Like some people want to be a detective, and it's like, you don't have to worry about that. All it is it's saying it was something stuck and we released it, and that's good, okay? And so you don't have to worry about why it came up. I'm telling you, that's why it came up. It's just because it needed to be released, and releasing it is going to help improve your energy health. And I think a lot of us get nervous because we know that we have memories and emotions that we've repressed. And so when I talk about releasing them, a lot of times people get nervous, like, oh no, I don't want to refeel those emotions or energies. Like, that's why I pushed them down there in the first place. And you survived the initial actual episode happening in your life the first time. The second time is going to be way easier, and usually it's just a fleeting little flash and then it's gone. Okay, so please don't be scared of that. As with the tapping, I don't believe people have to relive the experience to heal it. But I do think they need to release it, right? And sometimes there's lessons that we learn from those things, and then people are nervous that if they release it from their body, then it's like they'll have to relearn the lesson. The lesson won't stay with them, but that's not true either. The lesson's going to stay with you. You can release the emotions of the experience, and the lesson will stay. So don't fear that either. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I should tell you about it. If you have any questions, you guys, please put them in the comments and I will come back and answer them for you. I know for a lot of people, energy sessions and energy work is a new concept. Let me assure you that it's been going on over in the Eastern world for centuries. And like most things involving health, we don't get it over here in the West till centuries later. So it's not new. It's been going on for centuries. And it just started taking off over here in the 70s, and it's been a slow go, right? Like now you can see acupuncture and chiropractic are becoming very popular, and insurance is finally starting to cover some of those things. And then I'm so proud of the VA in Fargo because they have Tai Chi, yoga, Reiki, acupuncture. They have a sweat lodge over there. So they're getting on the wellness wagon with energy health, which I think is amazing because I think this stuff is going to do great things for veterans. I'm very passionate about helping veterans, and I'm dabbling in working with veterans with PTSD, all different kinds, with the tapping and the Reiki because, well, the main thing so that you can release all that stuff from your body because that's causing you major pain and stress. And also because you don't have to relive the trauma. You can just release it, right? And I think that once and it's not just veterans, right, with PTSD. I want to help other people too that have PTSD. Once they realize they can release them without it being a yucky experience, I think they're going to be more likely to keep doing it. And the more we can release those things from your tissues and cells and muscle memory, the quicker you can start to feel better. So if you have any questions, please put them in the comments. And if you guys want to check out any of the sessions that I offer, my website is in the comments there. Not sure if it's in there twice or if it just looks like it's in there twice on my end, but I didn't intentionally put it in there twice. um, so go ahead and leave your questions. Reach out to me if you are interested in having a session. And let me look. I can't remember now what next week's Monday meeting is going to be. Let me see. Tapping. I'm going to talk about EFT, emotional freedom technique, and tapping next Monday. So hopefully I will see you there or on the replay. Have a wonderful week, my friends.